What's up, guys? It's Captain Stonkse here with another Rocket League replay analysis. I've been sent a video to go over from a guy called klayveR, and he's Diamond 2, Diamond 3, and he's doing some 2s here by the looks of it. And he actually already did an analysis on this video himself on the Reddits, so it'll be interesting to see how our two analysis will sort of match up. But let's just get right into it. Definitely a good-looking car design right here. It's sleek red and white, and right off the kickoff, it's a decent little boost grab. You know, I like to keep it simple on the kickoffs. I'm not too sure about this takeoff here after grabbing the boost. It's a good huge win off the kickoff. It almost looked like they faked it, but huge aerial, doesn't make much of it. I already commented during the weekend on this situation, just watching the first couple of seconds, and I was talking about how much you invest versus how much you get in return, and that's really what you want to look at in especially in twos, because it's not so much about outplays as you might think it is. If you want to make Champ 1 or Champ 2 or even Grand Champ, you really just gotta start looking at how much am I investing versus how much is the opponents of it investing, and you know, through that perspective you can see why this is not gonna add up too much when you spend all your boost trying to make something of it and you just put it to the side, and if essentially you're passing the ball to the opponents and not making them spend any resources while you're emptying your tank. So, but let's take it step by step here. They obviously take control. They take a little bit of a hard touch up the wall, but klayveR's teammate here is good for the challenge and gets the good clear. klayveR's in a good position here, taking the back boost, waiting for the big ceiling play. That's definitely something that you see a lot, and I'm not sure what klayveR ended up spending his boost on. He's got 100 boost. He spends almost 50 boosts getting up the field, and then a lot of boost coming back again. This is definitely not good boost management. You know, I always almost feel like it's self-evident when after I've looked at how much boost has been spent. But you wanna see more of these flips up and down the field instead of using your boost to get speed. You know, 12 boost and then a good solid front flip, and then you're pretty much going supersonic, and that's definitely what you want to see instead of this kind of boost management. Also, I noticed the trails coming from behind the wheels. As long as you can see those, you're already going supersonic. So you definitely don't want to see. You never want to see this happening where you're boosting while you're supersonic, because that's just throwing boost out the window. So this was almost 20 boost, just yeah, well 10 20 boost going out the window for no real reason. So definitely want to be looking a lot more into your resource management. A really good challenge here on the wall, kind of catching everybody off guard. That's a very good use of your your resources right there. But yeah, again, you can flip for the back boost, but that's just sort of hammering on the point I already made. So definitely want to be moving about the pitch in a more efficient manner, using less resources. Kind of making it awkward for yourself by not having those resources to spend. So this could definitely also have been a mid boost grab and then coming off the wall, but instead you're trying to do a lot with very little resources. So if you can take some time and sort of, there's only one tip I really have for collecting boost pads, and that is the fact that the map is mirrored. So when you're coming back from the field and you have ball cam on, when you're going back to your own goal, then you already always know where the small boost pads are, because they're gonna be mirrored on the other side of the pitch. So here you see there's the one in the middle, which isn't mirrored anywhere apart from, on the other side of the pitch. But you see the one that's to the sort of to the diagonal left of the boost. So of this boost pad, so you know that you can be going over to this side and catching that little boost pad. So that's something that's gonna help you. That certainly helped me start to really pick up on those little boost pads, and the big boosts for that matter. But mainly you wanna be moving about the pitch, sort of getting all the little boost pads and flipping and doing your best to. You can also it's not gonna be a huge return on your investment learning to wave dash, but that's something that you wanna be incorporating when you reach sort of champ or going up the ranks. Not so important in diamond, I wouldn't say. Although it is fun to be wave dashing around the field. But yeah, your positioning seems decent. I like sort of the passive approach in twos, because as soon as you lose a challenge or you invest yourself 100%, it's almost like a 1v1, in the sense that if you make a risky challenge and you get nothing out of it, then it's very likely to cause a goal for the other side. So definitely want to be thinking about that compared to, I don't know how much threes you play, but in threes your second man in position wants to be taking a lot more risks than in twos. So because there really isn't a second man position in twos. There's only first man on the ball and then there's third. So, and those roles have they take a lot of different kinds of risks to the second man in position and third man in position. So, but yeah, unfortunate jump here. I'm not sure. The positioning is decent coming back. Sort of, he makes the most of it, klayveR here. He slows the play down, knows that he's in a 1v1 situation. He gets in a good position, and yeah, there's not much you can do. You can go at him straight away, but then he's just gonna take a different touch. So really difficult situation there. But let's go back and sort of look at the positioning a little bit more, because I feel like I talked a lot about resource management, and definitely a lot of the issues stem from that basic resource management, but it's also important to look at the positioning and other kinds of risk-taking factors. But yeah, definitely gonna help your play immensely to be more aware of your resource management. So yeah, also being aware of your teammates' resources, but that's a little bit more advanced. And if your teammate is low, then it's definitely on him to say that he needs boost. But in any situation where you have 50 boost or thereabouts, then you definitely want to leave that boost to your mate who's just been on attack, because once you start to prioritize your resource management, you also realize how much you can do with very little boost compared to what you might have thought you needed. Good challenge here. That's what you want to see. A little bit of a risky challenge here, but it's good to keep the pressure on. So, and you could have gotten a really good dunk on him, so I don't mind that. This one I've already talked about. There's no real reason for this play up on the. It's good to see the adding the pressure here, but ideally you want to add the pressure for free and then turn down. So it becomes a fake challenge where you're forcing the blue team to take a touch and sort of adding pressure on them, but then if you just turn your card down, then it becomes an almost free investment for a lot of pressure added to them. So instead of just throwing yourself at an awkward 50-50 up in the corner, and I definitely would have wanted to see you just turn back down and get back down in the play as fast as possible. Really good dunk here off the wall. That's already one we've commented on. So, good job adding pressure here. There's a lot of... Again, it's resource management. I'm sort of feeling like that's the name of the game for the issues on this field. But there's not a lot of reason for you to be hurrying up the wall like this. You could have been in position without using definitely as much boost. And again, it could have been just a fake challenge and then going back off the wall. That's something you see a lot more in champ level ranks, at least. And yeah, the resources are lacking here, and that makes it for some awkward defending. Unfortunate that this ball doesn't go in, but and again, the lack of resources make it really awkward. That could have been such a good goal if you just had taken the mid boost. I'm sorry for harping on it. And this situation is key after your mate has sort of thrown himself up the wall, and he's gonna be taking forever to get back into the play. And whenever you have a situation like that, you're always gonna be focusing on buying time. That's something that you learn growing up the ranks. It's when to buy time for your mates. And this is either a situation where you can go and make a challenge on the ball, or you can go into shadow defense and sort of try and just slow down the play and make sure that your mate can rotate back. But definitely the right choice here. You see that you can cut in front of the second guy on blue team, and it ends up being a really good play. So this is much better resource management. Getting the big boost and flipping to stay in supersonic mode, so means you have a lot of resources left. And again, really good use of resources. You could have gotten back and gotten the big boost as well, but it's good to see that it's not a constant issue with the lack of flipping. Very risky challenge here for twos. Let's see if your mate can survive the 1v2. Interesting to see the demo attempt. That's definitely a good tool to have in your toolbox in twos, because it's half the other team that goes out that goes off the pitch if you manage to get a demo. This is where you definitely want to be. I don't know if you're in comms with your teammate, but whenever you have time and you go across the pitch, you don't know where your mate is right now, unless you were communicating and he was saying that you should go for it. But just tap the little look behind button, and then you should be in a much better situation knowing what to do here. Because if your mate is nowhere to be found, then this pass is just gonna be going nowhere, and it's impossible definitely impossible for me to know. So unless you were in comms with your teammate here, then you don't really know what you're supposed to be doing, and then that just makes it impossible to decide on what to do. And so your mate was a little bit far back for this pass, but that's where I would want him to be. So unless you were communicating and you were trying to make like an aggressive play, then it's really important that you just make it a habit to always just tap that look behind button, or use your camera on the side. So some interesting play after that. They just take the clear, and your mate goes for the aerial play. That's a little bit unfortunate from him, but it's a decent investment, because he's gonna end up buying a lot of time, or he's gonna make a good play. But obviously it's hard to say when I don't know what his skill level is, if that was a fluke, or if that's just, it's fun to go for those, but if you're trying to rank up, you should also be going for stuff that you can actually successfully manage to do. It doesn't lead to too much danger with him going for it, because you're back. So if he's ever gonna do it, that's definitely the time. little bit of a rushed touch to the corner. You're not really gonna be able to do much with that, but aside from that, it's just a matter of, let's see what actually. It's hard to really spot any grave errors here. You missed the demo. That's unfortunate. Then you just gotta move back. There's no mid boost. There's boost in the corner. Your mate really seems to be getting faked out here. It's unfortunate we don't get to see it because of the ball cam. But yeah, that's another thing. That's the worst thing. That's the one thing that you can't really allow if you're going for challenge in twos. Never go for the expected touch. You should always be getting the ball, touching the ball, because if you get mind gamed and faked out like that, that means klayveR has spent no resources and he's still in full control. So any slight touch on the ball is gonna make this not a goal, at least unless some weird thing happens after that. But when he gets mind gamed and doesn't get a touch on the ball, that puts you in the worst possible position. So even with full boost, he's got time and he's got space. He's gonna put the ball on his head and flick it. So definitely, the only thing I would say probably with this play is whenever you're coming back from your attacking position and going back, then you wanna your body language needs to signal to your mate, unless you're in comms with him, that you're not gonna be challenging the ball. Because if you, let's say if you flip, instead of going for the challenge here, which is kind of a silly challenge to go for, because what's going to happen even if you get a good challenge, you're only gonna be pinching it into your straight into your own net, or maybe you get fortunate and pinch it into the back wall. But when you're in this position moving back, you just want to be moving back. You don't want to be sort of challenging, not really challenging. You want to make it so obvious for your mate that you're just going back, that he is confident in knowing that he can attack the ball, because you end up sort of faking your mate here, or discouraging him from making the challenge by making a weird challenge. And it's just, I guess in the end, it's just actually a misplay to be challenging when you're going back from that. You can go for demos, but you definitely don't want to be challenging from the wall and down and risking a pinch into your own net. So, but yeah, your mate makes an even bigger misplay by getting faked out. So I guess you're both kind of you're in the wrong in the play, but yeah. And here we're sort of back with the boost management not being the best, but it ends up working out. They don't really get a good touch on it. And yeah, here you definitely want to be picking up small pads, waiting for what's about to happen. Risky wall challenge here again. I think you'll learn as you rank up that the wall is not really a place to challenge from generally. So you can make it just a rule that you never challenge or you never jump off the wall for a challenge, because it's almost never going to be in your favor. Let's see, how far back do I have to go here? This was the wall challenge. Yeah. So they get the ball, they take it up the field. I can see why it's so tempting to go for the challenge here. Maybe there's a good chance that he's gonna take the shot, but even with you pressuring like this puts enough pressure on him to not be able to focus on getting the shot on net. So you don't have to go for the ball at all. You can just make the fake challenge and then go back down, and you don't end up sort of floating for, those couple of seconds and spending your boost going back down. Also, that's a minor detail, but you don't want to be boosting upwards when you're going down. So just point your nose straight down and get to the ground as fast as possible. Or don't use boost. That would almost be a better play so that you can use your boost after you've landed. Decent defense here from your mate, taking up the wall, getting the extra touch. Sort of a rush touch from blue side. It's I'm not sure I need to comment on going for the big aerial play with 15 boost in the tank. It becomes a really good pass for your mate, but the question becomes if he would have gotten a better shot if he didn't have to worry about you going for the aerial as well. And in any case, it's sort of a waste of resources to be going off for that. Putting yourself mildly out of the play and having to go back. These can be very tricky, getting a lot of power on these. Definitely a good job getting the side dodge in and not whiffing it. That would have been a disaster. But you're always gonna be careful about these at least. It's one of those things that's really worth getting good at, those back wall clears. They double commit on blue team, so this could very well be a goal. But let's see what your mate does. It's a good play from your mate, and a good defensive play as well from blue. Really nice touch over one guy here, and almost getting the outplay on both of them. Moving back, getting mid boost, that's decent. This is definitely your ball, you can take your time. It becomes a challenge. Oh, he takes a really interesting flip. Sorry about that, I had to enter the door, but I'm back into to the replay now, and gonna look at the weird challenge here from klayveR. It's kind of a delayed pre-flip thing. Ends up really catching us both off guard, I think. But this situation doesn't amount to much, and your mate makes a good attack on the ball. Oh, that's a really unfortunate first touch here. It's very difficult to take control of the ball here, but you definitely got the right idea in trying to take it up the wall. It's just a very difficult first touch. Good recovery and good touch to get it around the challenger though. So your mate gets the big clear. Good job of him, sort of resetting the defense. Oh, it's a little bit of an awkward touch he makes here, but they don't end up capitalizing on it, at least not right away. And are we gonna be able to keep the ball up? Nope, it's overtime. Interesting. So I'm definitely hoping you'll communicate here, or sort of go by the old rule of left goes, and it's a good job so far. Little bit of a passive situation, definitely a dangerous way of going about it. You get the big boost, and then you slow down a lot, which is not something you generally want to see, but I can understand where you're coming from in this situation. Generally, if you're moving slowly, then you won't be able to cover so much net, and you won't be able to make as many different plays on the ball or challenge the ball in as many ways. But it's a good job here, knowing that it's right off the kickoff. He doesn't have a lot of boost. You can be patient, and he's not gonna be able to make any huge outplays on you without any boost. So good job being a patient defender there. Definitely a scary situation, but really good first touch here. Up the wall, sort of into no man's. It's a pass, but it could go either way. Into you don't really want. I'm happy that he doesn't go for it. You don't really want to be passing mid unless you know that your mate is ready for it and you've sort of communicated it or made it obvious. Because he doesn't want to risk the 50 while you're still landing. So that's good job from him being patient, not going for it. I'm not sure if it looks like it is an intended pass, which is you know, it's I don't think it's the right decision, but it's a very difficult situation to be in on the wall with the ball. So maybe go for a clear, make them spend some boost instead of you know, making the risky pass center. Um, but let's go back and see what happens after the clear. So they should be taking control of this. They sort of rush it. It's a little bit of a bim bam ball. Your mate also rushes to touch. It's a very nervous overtime. Good job being patient here, getting the touch. Almost getting the dunk. It's just a matter of getting some pads and going back. Risky challenge here. This is what I talked about earlier about buying time. Definitely a risky time to move in after your mate has taken the touch that he has and made the challenge. But it ends up working out. It's just a little bit of a dangerous play. I'm not sure if you're comfortable doing shadow defense yet, but that's definitely something to add to your repertoire if you're not. And this is just a sudden pass and a good touch on from the turquoise klayveR player. So hard to really fault anybody here. You're a little bit risky with your positioning, but so is klayveR, and it's then it just becomes a luck of the draw basically. You could have been spaced or placed more towards your own net, but you know, this is just one of those times where it's been a little bit of a tense overtime, and you know, you see that your mate has the ball and he's taking it up, or that he should at least be getting a good touch, and a little bit too much confidence on your mate there, and in twos you always end up conceding when you're taking risks. So that's definitely the name of the game of twos. Just don't take any risks, and you really should be fine up until, you know, champ 2, I would say. But overall decent play, I would say. Resource management is gonna be huge if you start moving about the pitch more efficiently. And not making so many challenges off the wall, putting yourself out of the game. And then, so yeah, the tips for moving about efficiently is it's something that you learn over time. It's something that you wanna be actively thinking about for a couple of games over the next couple of weeks, and then it's gonna become second nature. It's just a matter of making it second nature, so that frees up your mental capacities after it's become, you know, automatic. It's a nice place to stop with the great dunk off the wall here. It's sort of, I guess it's, is it too? It's I guess with my criticism of the challenges off the wall, this is definitely an interesting moment, because what makes it a good time to challenge off the wall and what makes it a bad time to challenge off the wall, and that's something that, you know, you could have turned around here and sort of forfeited the ball, but over time you'll learn when you have more speed than your opponent and when you don't have more speed than your opponent. So, you know, it's not a matter of just always going down and forfeiting the ball, but right now your sliders of you know, going for the challenge or not going for the challenge definitely need to be recalibrated a little bit on the passive side, and faking the challenge instead of going all in. Generally, I would say actually just adding fake challenges and learning to go for small pads and flipping around the field and wave dashing is it's all those little things that end up adding up to being able to just reach, you know, Grand Champ. You don't need any mechanical uh, insanity off the ceiling or stuff like that. It's not the outplays that end up making you rank up. It's all the little things. So I would say you're definitely on your way to ranking up, but resource management is gonna be key. It's those little things. That's just where it is. That's where it's at right now. So anyway, pretty good job on the game overall. Definitely a good mate that you had, but you didn't create any unnecessary chaos, but maybe a little bit too many risks taken and too many resources wasted. But that's about it. Have a good one.